In this video, I will talk about an overlooked source of thyroid damage in women. It is widely known that hypothyroid disease, including its common autoimmune form, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, is 5 to 8 times more common in women than in men. And the reason for this might have been uncovered 25 years ago. A study published back in the year 2000 made the following finding. One of the estrogen metabolites called 2-methoxyestradiol, or 2-ME for short, is capable of killing thyroid cells by apoptosis. Apoptosis is a scientific term for programmed cell death. In addition, the same metabolite could disrupt the structural integrity of thyroid follicles and cause the release of thyroid antigens. This can trigger an autoimmune response against the thyroid. To be clear, 2-ME is not all bad. It has shown protective effects against fibrosis and tumors, but too much of it is apparently dangerous for the thyroid gland. Where does 2-ME come from? 2-ME is a byproduct of both natural estrogen as well as its synthetic form used in birth control pills and HRT. If 2-ME makes women susceptible to thyroid damage, then why is it that not all women develop hypothyroidism? It might depend on individual rates of clearance of this metabolite from the body. Estrogen is detoxified in the liver by one of the two pathways, the so-called 2 pathway or the 4 pathway. 2-ME is generated via the 2 pathway, by methylation of its hydroxylated precursor performed by the COMT enzyme. 2-ME is then detoxified by a glucuronidation or sulfation performed by the UGT or SALT enzymes and is then excreted with the bile. There might be genetic differences in the population affecting the speed with which these enzymes perform their functions, which will in turn affect how fast 2-ME is being generated and cleared. We cannot change our genetics, but there are a few things we can do to reduce the accumulation of 2-ME if necessary. First, adding green tea. Green tea has been shown to reduce 2-ME by about 28% in Japanese American women who drink between 1 and 6 cups of green tea per week. On the other hand, higher consumption of green tea, more than 7 cups per week, didn't yield any reduction in 2-ME. Second, eliminating flaxseed. Flaxseed has been shown to increase production of 2-ME in hens. Although a study confirming the same outcome in humans is lacking, those concerned about having excessive levels of 2-ME might want to avoid flaxseed for now. Lastly, one could take a more comprehensive nutrigenetic approach to compensate for any personal genetic insufficiencies in the glucuronidation or sulfation detox pathways in the liver, especially in times of high estrogen production. This 2015 publication lists dietary sources of cofactors as well as nutritional inducers for all liver detox pathways. What might be the telltale sign that one's hypothyroidism is due to 2-ME-mediated destruction of the thyroid cells and not due to other causes? If the thyroid dysfunction was triggered or exacerbated by birth control pills, pregnancy, or estrogen dominance, then 2-ME could be the culprit. But what if the damage is already done? Is it possible to reverse it? It turns out yes. The experiments were done so far in mice, where the majority of the thyroid gland had been destroyed during 4 weeks of continuous exposure to a toxin, which was then removed. Miraculously, in about a month, the gland regenerated completely and was as good as new. This regeneration was due to spontaneous activation of quiescent resident stem cells, most prominently noticed around week 2 after the damage was stopped, but not while the damage was still ongoing. Could this be true for humans too, that our thyroid can regenerate after the damage is stopped? I sure hope so. The authors of this study are optimistic too. They wrote the following about their study. The capacity of the adult thyroid gland to regenerate in response to injury represents an important homeostatic process. In this study, we have used a new mouse thyroid injury model to demonstrate that stem cells are mostly responsible for regeneration and repair after an insult. The model clearly demonstrates the involvement of both stem and thyroid progenitor cells in the in vivo regeneration of the thyroid gland after severe destruction, and likely models the human thyroid response to injury. Thanks for watching. Please like this video to give it more visibility on YouTube and share this information with all those who are looking to heal their thyroid.